What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel and the video review of the MjxR Bugs 3 Pro. It is the futuristic design upgraded version of the Bugs 3 with GPS, and this one has a maximum flight time of 20 minutes. So let's open up the box and check it out. Alright, so here is the brand new MjxR Bugs 3 Pro with GPS. Looking just fantastic in this white color scheme. As you can see, I've already attached the props as well as the landing legs. They do not come pre-installed, and you notice that the props are identical to the original MjxR Bugs 3 props except in white. And we got the brushless motors, and there's a huge LED light fixture right up in the front of the quadcopter. We'll come back to the quadcopter in a little bit, and here's the remote control that comes with it. The new style MjxR Bugs remote control. But first, let's go over all of the stuff that came in the box so we can get those out of the way. First, let's go over the battery. Here is the brand new battery, guys. It is a proprietary battery once again. It is a 7.4 volt 2800 milliamp battery. Now this is supposed to give you a flight time of about 20 minutes. Wow. But the sad thing is the charge time. It is about 5 hours. Wow. All right, so let's put this battery down here. We'll go back and look at that later. Here's a bag of props. So you've got 2 sets of props, and here's a bag of a couple of foams. Came with the action camera mount, and the action camera mount very similar to the MjxR Bugs 3H, but this one has a 3-point anti-vibration mount. Just click it underneath of the quadcopter. You can swivel it down and up, so pretty decent. All you do is just slide it in here, and there's a little lever over here. You twist it and grabs onto the harness there, the anti-vibration mount, and it is holding it on very solid. It is locked in, so very easy to attach your action camera. Now this quadcopter did not come with the 5G Wi-Fi camera, but you are able to buy the 720p or the 1080p Wi-Fi FPV camera, the 5G network camera. All right, but this one did not come, so I'm going to attach my own action camera on here to test it out. And here's a bag of tools. This is for the prop removal. You hold on to the motors and unloosen the prop or tighten the prop. Here's a screwdriver, and here is the instruction booklet here, some MjxR Bugs sticker, a quick start guide, and the instruction booklet itself. Now let's talk about the battery charger here. All right, so this is the wall plug for the battery charger to power it up. Comes with this barrel style connector. Now this thing comes with the Euro plug. Now this is pretty cool because you can remove the Euro connector plug on the AC adapter, but it does not come with any other plug, so I am stuck with the Euro plug, so I have to use a converter anyway. But this is a great idea. If they gave us the US plug, I could just put the US plug in here and click it on. That would have been really fantastic. Now here is the charger receptacle itself, and here is the balance charger. So what you do is plug this in to the balance charger, plug this in to the balance plug, and now you are able to charge up the battery with this little receptacle here. Plug it in and plug this into the wall. So yeah, very complicated to charge one battery, and it takes about 5 hours. Like I said, it is a huge battery, so it takes a long time to charge the battery, but you do get about 20 minutes of flight time. So that is the charging harness for you. So here's a quick look at the quick start guide that they're starting to include in the instruction booklet, which is pretty nice. It's shaped like a remote control, and here is all of the steps and stuff that you need to go through before you can take off. So very nice little handy little quick start guide and tells you what all of the functions on the remote control is. And looks like the remote control is identical to the MjxR Bugs 5W remote control. All of the functions are exactly the same. The only thing that I found that was different is that this dial here, the rotary dial, does not function on this quadcopter because it does not have any tilt camera action like the Bugs 5W. So that is very nice. Really handy. And here's the complete user's manual, so it goes on through all of the details even further in to have you get up in the air. So very nice stuff right here. All right, so let's take a closer look at the brand new MjxR Bugs 3 Pro GPS in this white color scheme with the futuristic look, very angled and cut, so looking pretty nice. Big LED light up in the front here. Same style of landing legs as the original MjxR Bugs 3 and the Bugs 3H. So when you look at this quadcopter, it looks like a futuristic design to the MjxR Bugs 3, which is pretty nice. Was wondering if this comes in black as well. It would have been nice if you had some different colors that you might be able to choose from. Now, like I said, it comes with the same Bugs 3 props except in white, and I noticed something right on the end of the motor pod. There's like a little placeholder for some prop guards, but we are not provided with those prop guards in the box. So I'm wondering if you are going to be able to purchase some accessories for this quadcopter like the prop guards. It would have been nice for them to include that in here for beginner quadcopter enthusiasts, so you don't damage the props, in turn damage the motors. But then again, it does help out once you crash this quadcopter and hit the ground or anywhere else with the motor. It does absorb a little bit of impact before it hits the motor, so that is very nice. Now, it did come with this anti-vibration mount, the 3-point anti-vibration mount for your action camera. Now, this is the version that doesn't come with the Wi-Fi camera, but you are able to get the 1080p Wi-Fi FPV 5G camera or the 720p Wi-Fi FPV 5G camera as well. So taking a look on the bottom of the quadcopter here, not much to show you. There's the micro USB jack port for the Wi-Fi FPV camera if you were to have gotten that one. And in the back here, there's the battery bay. It's a huge battery bay for a huge battery. So all you got to do is just slide the battery in its place and it'll lock. So you don't have to twist any knobs or anything like that. There you go, the ESC is calibrating itself. Now, in order to take the battery out, there's this little lever you press down on to unlock it, and there's a couple of finger grabbers on the side of the battery, so 3-finger job. So there you go, take the battery right out, and it does not have an on and off button or switch, so by just pushing in the battery, you are turning on the quadcopter as well, and by taking it out, you are turning off the quadcopter. So there you have a look at the brand new MjxR Bugs 3 Pro GPS. Now let's take a look at the remote control. All right, so here is the remote control. It is the newer version of the MjxR remote control, 2.4 gigahertz two-way communication. So you will have a weak signal alarm as well as the low voltage alarm via beeping of the remote control. 1 key to take off, 1 key to land, lock and unlocking of the motor button, a smart return to home button, and the camera button, in which a short press will take a photo and a long press will take a video. Couple of trim buttons here, non-functional. Here's the headless mode button, on and off switch for the remote control, and the GPS on and off button. LCD display. In the back, we have a couple of L1 and L2 buttons, which does not function for this remote control. And there is a rotary dial that does not function as well. Now, both sticks to the bottom and to the left will calibrate the gyros of the quadcopter. Both sticks to the bottom and in will arm and disarm the motors as well. This remote control has a control distance of 600 to 800 meters, which is very nice. Now remember, the MjxR Bugs 5W was set to have 300 to 500 meters distance on paper, but it did perform up to 1,000 meters. So hopefully we get 1,000 meters on this quadcopter as well. The maximum speed of the quadcopter is 10 meters per second, which is equivalent to 22 miles per hour or 36 kilometers per hour. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the new MjxR Bugs 3 Pro GPS. All right, we are ready to go with the MjxR Bugs 3 Pro. Let's go ahead and turn this baby on, turning on the remote control and slapping on the battery. I do not have an action camera mounted. We're just going to check out how this thing performs without the action camera, and we're going to fly it with the non-GPS mode as well as the GPS mode to find out the flying characteristics. And we're going to test out the 1 key to takeoff and 1 key to land first. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on. It's just got paired, and we need to wait until it initializes. Green, red, and yellow lights flashing about. There we go. That double beep indicates that it is ready for compass calibration. Yeah, it is a GPS quad, so you'll need to calibrate the compass, and MjxR has made it very, very easy to calibrate the compass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it horizontally 360 degrees, maybe a couple of times, and it already calibrates horizontally. As you can see, the lights have changed to darker green, and they're are alternately flashing, and you are done with the horizontal portion. So you're going to do it vertical, nose up, and we're going to rotate it until the green lights turn solid red in the front and I believe solid yellow in the back, or solid green in the back, sorry. There you go, in which we have red solid lights in the front and green solid light in the back, and the one in the front, that big one, is solid red. So now it has finished calibrating its compass. So what we're going to do now is calibrate the gyros by both sticks to the bottom and to the left. Rapid flashing lights, and they are solid now. So we are good to go. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to check out the 1 key to takeoff and 1 key to land. All right, so it doesn't take off. What you need to do is arm the motors. Arming the motors by both sticks to the bottom and in. Okay, and holding the throttle all the way down will disarm the motors. And you can also arm the motors by this unlocking of the button. There you go. Now let's go ahead and take off. 1 key to take off. All right. Very nice. Rises up above the table about that much, and it has locked itself. So we are on GPS mode, and we have acquired 17 satellites. So very nice, very quickly acquiring all of the necessary satellites. Yawing in place, moved a little bit. All right, nice. Very nice and stable. No GPS rock and roll so far, so very, very nice. Let's go ahead and pull it to make it angry. Not too much, just a little. There you go. It goes right back to its locked position. Nice. All right, so let's check it out. No camera on board. Now this thing does not have any speed mode button. This is the full pitch. There you go. That's the speed. 22 miles per hour, or 36 kilometers per hour. And that's what this speed is. With the 2204 1500 kV motors. Slightly bigger motors than its predecessors, but lower kV, 1500. I believe the original Bugs, they both have 1600 kV motors, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or 1800 kV motors. I think it's 1600. Okay, So there you go. We are flying in GPS mode. So that is the behavior. Now let's go and check it out without GPS. Flicking that switch. Now it has just altitude hold. So you see that it is drifting away from me. So very minor amount of wind we are having this morning. So very nice, beautiful day. It's going to become very hot though. They expect the temperatures to climb up to the 108 over here. So that will happen pretty soon. Okay, so it is flying around without GPS. With or without GPS, it is a very smooth flyer. Okay, making those turns. There's no jerky movements at all. Very nice. Okay, so flicking it back to GPS. Okay. All right. Lock this position and maintaining it, drifting a little bit. What is up with that? Okay. It went back to that spot where I turned on the GPS. All right. So in GPS or without GPS, this thing is behaving very similar. Look at that. It is in GPS. I don't feel like it is. No GPS rock and roll around the turns or anything like that. But as soon as I let go of the sticks, it will lock its position. Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and bring it back here and perform the 1 key to land right above the landing pad here somewhat. Okay, so 1 key to land. Okay, very slow. And it hovers around on the ground for a little bit. And the motors do not shut off. So let me go ahead and shut the motors off. Alright, so there you go guys. The flight with the GPS on, GPS off, and 1 key to take off and 1 key to land. Let's go ahead and check out the headless mode, shall we? Alright, arming the motors and 1 key to take off. Okay, we took off from the table here, so if I return to home, it's going to come back and land on the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down and land on the landing pad here, and let's position it right in the middle of the landing pad. Alright, so that'll be the new home point that it records. So unlocking the motors, 1 key to take off, one more time, and comes to a hover right around that altitude. So let's go ahead and push it out a little bit. Headless mode. Alright, so bringing it back, spinning, pushing it forward, spinning. Yep, headless mode works on this thing. There you go, to the left and to the right. So headless mode works great. So just in case you are kind of lost, well, we have the 1 key to return to home, the smart return to home. So you're probably not going to use the headless mode to bring this baby back in to your location if you lose orientation, but you are able to use it for video purposes. So you can wrap around the subject in headless mode. Alright, so let's turn the headless mode off. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out the smart return to home. Alright, so right around there, and we're going to hit this button here and check out the smart return to home. Alright, rises up in altitude, and it is making its way back here. That's pretty quick. Alright, it's right above The landing pad, hopefully, is moseying around a little bit. And so far, staying still. Now it's descending. Oh, a lot of prop wash. Alright, it's coming down. Oh, and check it out. It hovers right there at that home altitude. And very close to where it took off from. Let's see if the motor shut off. Alright, and the motors shut off as well. Very, very nice. Alright, so let's check out the fail-safe return to home. I'm going to simulate that by turning the remote control off while the quadcopter is in mid-air. Alright, so let's go ahead and check that out. Arming. 1 key to take off. There we go. Hover in its home altitude. Very nice. Just like the Bugs 5W. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn off the remote control. And look at that. Comes to a locked hover. Just like that. No rock and rolling. Alright, let's turn off the remote control. It should take about 6 seconds before it initiates the fail-safe return to home. And there we go. Rising up in altitude. And traversing back. Nice. That will be the fail-safe return to home, in which you will have a disconnect with the remote control, go beyond its range limits, and it will initiate the fail-safe return to home. Takes a little while before it descends, and now it's descending. Alright. Slowing down a little bit. Is it going to come to a hover? Yes, it comes to a little hover. And almost to the same spot where it took off from. Okay, do the motors shut off? It should. Alright, there you go. The fail-safe return to home works fantastic. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn the remote control back on. We should reconnect automatically. So let's check it out. Yes, we are connected. Now, 1 key to take off one more time. Alright, so we're going to test out the fail-safe return to home once again. But this time I'm going to regain control while it's coming back by turning it back on, turning the remote control back on. Alright, so let's go ahead and check that out. 6 seconds. There you go. Coming back. I'm going to reconnect. And by pressing the Smart Return to Home button, it will stop its return to home process. And now I have regained control of the quadcopter. Alright. So that is all working fantastic. So very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and bring it back in. Slap on the camera and fly about a little bit, since we have this big 2800 milliamp battery. Okay, 1 key to land. And you can redirect its path with your pitch and roll movements to land where you want it to land. And right around there. There we go. Touchdown. And the motors shut off. Alright, let's attach the action camera with the provided camera mount. Alright, so I got the Elephant Rexo camera mounted on the provided action camera mount with the 3-point anti-vibration dampening rubbers. And I did need to put that thick foam pad in order for the camera to stay in there without moving around. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Alright, turned it on and press the button so it starts to record. Very easy to slide this in. Just slide it in and turn this little locking knob, and we are locked in, ready to go. But as you can see, guys, it shakes a lot. Not sure if this is going to be a good anti-vibration mount, because look at that. Yeah, the camera is just shaking away. So hopefully we get some good videos. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out. Let me go ahead and take off from the landing pad so we can land back in its spot. So let's go ahead and arm the motors, and 1 key to take off. Okay, I still have 3 bars indicating on the battery indicator. So we still have good battery life. We are going to test out the low voltage return to home. So there's going to be a phase 1 low voltage return to home, as well as phase 2 low voltage return to home. So phase 1 would be if you are away 300 meters in distance and away 100 meters in altitude. When the phase 1 kicks in, when you have just 2 bars indicated on the battery indicator, it will initiate a low voltage return to home. But if you are within the 100 meters in altitude and 300 meters in distance, it will not initiate a return to home. It will, however, give you an audible alarm, 3 beeps, and 3 beeps consecutively, letting you know that you are in phase 1 of low voltage return to home. And once you hit the second phase of low voltage return to home, indicated by just 1 bar remaining on the battery level indicator on the LCD display, the beeping will go constant beeps, letting you know that you are in phase 2 of low voltage return to home. And at that time, even though you are within 100 meters in height or 300 meters in distance, it will initiate the return to home. But if you are within 15 meters, it will land in its spot. All right, so far it is looking good. Hopefully we are taking some good videos. What a beautiful day it is today. Very nice. Coming to a hover. Okay, we are in phase 1 of return to home, the low voltage return to home, and the height is just 21 meters. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm just going to let it ride and just test out the phase 2 of return to home. So right now, if you are away 300 meters in distance or 100 meters in altitude, it will initiate a return to home. But we're not going to be able to see the quadcopter that far away. So I'm just going to keep it close and wait until phase 2. So triple beeps repeatedly, indicating phase 1. And the battery level indicator is showing 2 bars of battery life left. So we'll just hover around, cruise around more than 15 meters away. So once the second phase of return to home, low voltage return to home activates, we will get a return to home action on the quadcopter. So far it's looking really nice. I'm really liking this quadcopter. The new Bugs 3. Looks very stable. and hopefully we are getting some good video, and hopefully it's not shaking up there. Pretty long first phase low voltage. Okay, I don't want to stay too close to myself here. I want to stay away 15 meters. Very nice and smooth. It's a nice upgrade with GPS from the original Bugs 3 and the Bugs 3H. But there we go. A steady beep indicates low voltage phase 2, and it is coming back and comes to a halt, and at which time you are able to yaw. Alright, so let's play out the low voltage return to home phase 2, and it is coming down. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't land on my table here. Nope, it doesn't look like it. There we go. Comes to a little hover. And check it out. It almost landed on the landing pad. There we go. At least it's got a couple of legs on it. Alright, will the motors disarm by itself? Yes, they will. Alright, so there you go. The low voltage phase 2 return to home on the MjxR Bugs 3 Pro GPS. Alright, so just got done testing out the brand new MjxR Bugs 3 Pro GPS. We tested out the 1 key to takeoff and 1 key to land, the smart return to home, as well as the FAILSAFE return to home, and the phase 2 of low voltage return to home, in which it performed very nicely. I really love the behavior of this quadcopter and its behavior while you're flying around, even in GPS mode, as well as without GPS mode. It behaved just about the same. So even in GPS mode, very nice and smooth of a flyer with that big 2204 1500 kV motors. Very nice upgrade to the original MjxR Bugs. Not to discount the original MjxR Bugs 3. That quadcopter just is an awesome quadcopter, but this is an upgrade with GPS. So if you are willing to dish out a little bit more money to have that peace of mind, so you will never lose the quadcopter, this is the way to go here. We got a pretty good amount of flight time utilizing the brand new 2800 milliamp battery. And one thing I'm not sold on is this anti-jello mount, guys. Maybe this anti-jello mount was made specifically for the 5G Wi-Fi FPV camera that this quadcopter also comes in. You can get that version 720p or 1080p, but with this Rexo Elephant action camera, maybe the weight difference is there and it's kind of vibrating a little bit. I could see from the playback on the LCD monitor that it did vibrate a little bit. So maybe you might want to check out the one that comes with the 1080p or the 720p Wi-Fi FPV camera, or do something about this little anti-jello mount to hold it a little bit more stable so it does not vibrate as much. So there you have it, guys. My review and test flight of the MjxR Bugs 3 Pro, the GPS model. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.